welcome back to the True to Form podcast. I am your host, Audrey Neff, and I am very excited about today. This is my first episode back since my unexpected medical leave, and the reason I've been waiting so long to do it was because I wanted to do it with a very special and particular guest who is Dr. Amanda Holden. So for those of you guys who haven't been following, back in April, crazy thing happened, had a hemorrhagic stroke, a subarachnoid hemorrhage, which is somehow considered the deadliest type of stroke. Anyways, we all deal with storms of life and things that just happen that we never know are going to happen. And how do we deal with it? How do we control our mindset? How do we stay positive and get through tough situations when, there are a lot of factors that can affect just how we perceive things and all these things. So anyways, beyond that, I wanted to do this episode with Dr. Holden because Amanda is one of the most inspiring women I know. Truly, she inspires me every day, and I mean that from the heart. And she recently, this past year, had something happen to her that really challenged her in terms of her health. So I thought it would be just be the perfect episode to do this with. We were both recently at the aesthetic show in Vegas, and that was my first event back. And so many people were asking me to do a podcast on this topic. I had so many people asking. So I was like, I didn't want to do it by myself. So I'm like, Amanda, we're going to do it together. And I am so excited to have her here. This will be her second episode on the True to Form podcast. So she's our returning guest, Dr. Amanda Holden. But I'll let her go into a brief intro of herself, but she's an incredible human being. And I'm just really honored to have her here. So Amanda, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Audrey. And that's, just thinking about seeing you again at the aesthetic show after we thought maybe we would lose you. I'm teary so I'm doing my intro here, but it's a little bit hard because it's so incredible to see you back so quickly. And you're such a special human that I'm just so happy that you're okay. So I want to start just by saying that, and that so many people love you, and we just want you to be able to show your light to the rest of the world for as long as you possibly can, and miraculous recovery on your part. So love you. Thank you for having me again too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was so great to see you at the aesthetic show. I'm going to try to do that little turn up to happiness, because we can turn over from sadness to positivity so quickly. I love that piece of just telling our soul, like, you're going to be happy in this moment and everything that you're doing. But my name is Dr. Amanda Holden, as you said, and I'm based in San Diego. I am the founder and CEO of Holden Timeless Beauty. It's a multi-location med spa practice here in San Diego, powered by Alpha Aesthetics. I am a founding partner of this incredible group called Alpha Aesthetics, where we are bringing the best of the best together across the nation and creating a superpower force to bring brands together, bring business practices together, education, and really expand high quality aesthetic practices all around the United States. Our leader is John Wheeler. We both know and love him, and have had to sing songs with him before at karaoke. And it's just been so fun to be on this journey in aesthetics. I started in 2017. Formerly, I was an emergency medicine physician and transitioned into aesthetics in 2017. Have a heart and soul for business. I have a very special business mentor. Her name is Sharon Lecter. I work with her monthly. And she guides not only strategy in business, but strategy in financial wealth for life, and really strategy for where you can shine your light the brightest and have the biggest opportunities in the world, really. And the bigger we reach, the bigger we can climb. So I also study with the 10X business community. I'm going out to an event with them out in Ohio. I get to go to Ray Lewis's Spire facility in just 2 weeks and tour that, as well as the pro football, the NFL football Hall of Fame. And I always love being around people that just push me to dream even bigger than I've already dreamt before. We just opened our newest location here in San Diego. I'm actually going to a grand opening tonight, a VIP influencer party. It's the first of our PR fun moves that we're doing. So we're doing a influencer event tonight and then a big grand opening August 22nd. So if you're in the San Diego area, we'd love to see you there. But just like you, Audrey, I went through a very, very big scare last summer. I was at a conference. I was at a Galderma Gain business training, train the trainer out in Dallas, Texas, and suddenly my foot went out. And for those of you that don't know, previously I'd herniated a disc in 2017. That kind of led me into the med spa space, thinking I don't think I can perform the duties of an emergency medicine physician anymore. And what's going to spark that fire in my soul? And it was aesthetics. And suddenly my foot went out, and fast forward, I can tell you more details later, but fast forward, I had to have a spinal fusion. So January 29th, I went to New York City and had a spinal fusion, and it was tough. It was very tough getting through it, but every day I woke up and I said, I'm going to choose a positive attitude and I'm going to get better. So that's the only choice we have, as I'm sure you can relate to.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Positivity is key, and it affects everything. It affects your healing process. It affects when you are going through the toughest of the tough and you're in the middle of a situation that you really can't control. But while we can't control a lot of things in life, something that we can always control is our mindset and our perspective on things, and just all of these different things. And I definitely want to go into all of these, but to go back a couple of steps. So you and I both, we travel a lot, we speak a lot, we do so many things. And I mean, I'm not even close to the level that you're at, given that you're also running a 5-location medical spa now and doing all of these other things. So I feel like when something happens and you're so used to going 1,000,000 miles an hour every single day, we're just so used to having so many things on our to-do plate. If we look at the bigger picture, it can sometimes stress us out versus compartmentalizing and things like that. But so to all of a sudden have to kind of like have a halt, or life just throws a curveball at you out of the blue, it speaks volumes to the person you are when you recover, and how fast you can recover based on your mindset and things like that. But also it's still difficult. It's still challenging to go through. So I want you to kind of take us through going back to how you were. So when you first, because I remember watching your Instagram, I mean, at first you didn't have answers. You didn't know what was going on. You were seeing all these different specialists, like all that time that you have to take away from your business or away from your family and things like that. So go back to talking about just like overall, like the time that it took away, and how you dealt with that.
Well, I mean, July 15th, Audrey, of last year, I had just joined Alpha June 1st, and we had so many big plans. We had just returned from the aesthetic show, and I was scheduled to speak at lots of different conferences. We had a huge event going on in New York in August, and suddenly my foot going out and dropping, and then having it start to shock me. So I would take steps and my body would shock its, like I would get electrocuted by my own body. And I didn't know if it was coming from my back distinctly, because they did a steroid injection there. I was hospitalized for the first couple of days back in San Diego. But they didn't really know what to do. And at first they looked at this genetic area in my back called Bertolotti's syndrome. It's a genetic fragment at the base of your spine, transitioning into your hips. And they said, let's scan actually your whole leg as well. And they found entrapments of nerves in my knee and my ankle. So in September, I had my first surgery, a nerve release in my knee and my ankle, and it didn't really help. And that was a huge bummer, because it's like during that whole time, you're waiting to get better and just get back to this great life that you're about to live. And I had to search all over the US to find someone that was a specialist in Bertolotti's that said, this is what's going on and this is how I can help you. I've done 200 of these cases, but you're going to have to fly from the West Coast to the East Coast and recover out here. And that was scary as all hell. I'm telling you, like, to think you're going to leave the comfort of your home and go out to New York City in the winter and recover and decide, am I going to Airbnb it? Am I going to go sit and be in a hotel room? How am I going to be comfortable post-surgery? Well, my husband was a saint, and I mean, he just took care of me and was so amazing. Huge shout out to Josh. I love him to death. And it was hard. And during those moments of I mean, it took a long time to figure out. And what I can tell you is during the pauses, my brain didn't stop wanting to work. And
Yeah.
I did Zoom calls flat on my back, like, and then would turn my camera off just to still get through the motions and still design HGB San Diego. And I did whatever I could. And then my team would tell me, you've got to go home. I had a zero gravity chair in my office and I would sit and have meetings like upside down. It was ridiculous. I was 6 days post surgery and Gideon Kwok came down to train my team and I wanted to be here. So I came in with a walker. My husband got my foot elevated and I came in and watched that entire training and got to be right back with my team. And they kept saying, go home. And I refused to because I said,
Yeah.
this is my family. When your work is your family,
Yeah.
it's like, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like
Yeah.
you're missing that mark on the impact you can make in the industry. And I know there's so much impact that I want to make on the industry and my team wants to make, and we want to do it together. So I was like, I can't pause this. So I barely paused. I mean, I took maybe 2 days off before looking at my emails after my fusion, but it was tough. And it was tough balancing it. I even tried to inject patients in the in-between time. I would have like a 2-hour window with patients and then they'd make me go get in the zero gravity chair. And I just missed being with my patients. I missed
Yeah.
sharing stories and just having that human connection. And it's so lonely when you're just, I mean, I,
Yeah.
I, I love my family to death, but I also love my work. I love both sides of it.
Yeah.
So they were great. And I just wanted to continue to be me. Did you feel that
I
way?
love, I did. Yes. I love what you said, like work is family. And you and I, we both love what we do. We love this industry. We care about this industry. And something I learned through going through what I went through, and I was in the ICU for 16 days, was I feel like a lot of people say, oh, around the concept of working, well, you'll find out during dark times, you find out who cares about you, all of these things. And people, a lot of people say, well, work will never care about you, business will never care about you. And something I learned, and I'm sure you felt the same way, was this industry is literally full of the most amazing souls. I had never felt so just like I had so many people who I love around me. And I mean, you were reaching out to me, you and Josh sent flowers, like all of these just very heartfelt things I had coming from a lot of people sent stuff that I didn't even personally know. So something
Wow.
that really kept me going was just
Mm.
this industry, the people in this industry, the messages I was getting, the prayers. I mean, the power of prayer is
Mhm.
so real. And I remember back and first of all, to even go back, I remember thinking in the hospital when I was kind of still in the ICU was I was thinking of you because I remember you had gone through this whole back thing and you shared your experience on social media. And to be honest, it was something I thought about often because it inspired me to get through a hard time. And in the industry, support goes a long way. But on the power of prayer thing, really quickly, at first I didn't know if I was going to share my experience on social media, and then I did. I don't remember doing it because I was really drugged up when I initially shared my first story. But I'm so glad I did do that because I had people reaching out to me telling that they had their entire churches praying for me.
Yes.
And so the power of prayer, like I just on that concept, I think it had something to do with myself being spared. Obviously, everything happens for a reason, and God doesn't make mistakes, in my opinion, which makes faith also helps you get through difficult times. But just on the topic of industry support and that work is family, like this industry is my family. And it was just so cool to see you and John and everyone in Las Vegas. It was literally the highlight of my year, truly. So just on the topic of that, on the work as family thing, I something I learned coming out of this is this industry is really full of the most beautiful souls in the entire world, and I will never leave this industry ever. And
Great.
I used to
Great.
joke. I remember on something recently, not recently, but I was like, "You'll be dragging my dead body out of this industry," which almost happened. But it's not
Yeah.
to make a joke,
But
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 I just
someone
want to
tried to
say
take you out, Audrey. Someone tried. It's not going to happen with all of us rooting for you, praying for you, all the things.
No, I was praying for you too. And so I'm just so happy that you're back better than ever, stronger than ever. It's so cool to see that you went through a really tough time and that now here you are. I mean, your hair and makeup's done. I'm looking at you now. You have a VIP event that you're going to. I mean, you're just killing it. And I definitely want to get to a more specific business update from you here too shortly. But no, I just wanted to touch on that. I really liked the work is family thing because
You know,
that's how I felt.
it's so true. And in this industry of aesthetics, you look at social media, and some people that don't love social media might think that's superficial, that's fake. But
Yeah.
honestly, it's where prayer poured in because
Mhm.
we were able to share our experiences, and those prayers just poured in through social media. People were there with us, and they were there getting us through it and cheering for us to get better. And that's also something that feeds our brains and
Yeah.
allows our cells to recover, and as we have that, the prayers behind us, and we're getting cards with, I mean, I had particularly my best friend's mom kept sending me different verses, and they prayed over me constantly. And it was so impactful because I felt like I had people that were pushing for me, that
Yeah.
wanted me to get back. And I mean, you know exactly what it's like now. And it's so powerful just to have people. And the social media side, huge, huge community of support. I love this community. I love aesthetics. And just like you'll be dragging my dead body out of it because I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. I'm staying, and I'm going to help as much as I possibly can through the rest of this industry's wild roller coaster ride of fun, because it's
Yes,
a, it's an extended family, even the social media side, you know?
it is. It is. It so is. I remember
Yeah.
because of that too, like, I mean, I obviously didn't see messages until I was out of the ICU, but I think it took me almost a month and a half to get through all of them because I wanted to make an
Bet.
effort to respond to every single one.
Right.
So just as a thank you to the industry, I mean, you guys, it's a giant extended family, just like you said. So on behalf of both Amanda and I, we love all of you.
Thank you. We love you. Thank you for your
Yes,
support.
absolutely, absolutely. So on a topic now of going through things like this, because I we can't control whatever God's plan is or whatever. There's certain things that happen that we can't control, but I think a lot of times we can fall down a slippery slope. So I want to touch on this because I'm sure there's people listening that have had something health related to happen to them where it just kind of stopped them in their tracks of doing business as usual, and it happens to all of us, no matter how healthy you are, as well. So a lot of people can, and it's very easy to do, is fall down that slippery slope of when things like this happen, falling or going into this mindset of feeling sorry for yourself. Why did this happen to me? Being so angry at the situation. And when you have that mindset, it hinders a lot. So, and it's easy to fall down into. I mean, there were times where I was like, it's like, don't go there. Your mind is so
Mhm.
much stronger than that, and you will get through this. So, talk about how do you, because your mind listens to whatever you tell it. So
Mhm.
go through like how you controlled your mindset during this insanely challenging time for you.
So I couldn't agree more. Your mind automatically goes to, what if I stay like this forever? And
Hmm.
what's my life going to look like in the future? Everything
Yeah.
I've worked so hard to build up is going to be completely destroyed, and I'm just going to be sitting here in my room existing. And what is life? What's that life? Because I'm a visionary, so I like to see the future of where things are going. And when this happened to me, it put, like, it's basically like a movie where you couldn't see the other side of the movie, because I didn't know what was going to happen on the other side. I didn't know if my body was going to stop shocking me. I didn't know if I was going to find the right treatment. I was so scared going into the surgery, wondering, is this going to fix the problem, or am I going to have more back pain as a result, and it doesn't fix the problem at all, and now I'm permanently disabled.
Yeah.
So, with each of those thoughts, I think it's first very important to recognize that we're having them, journal that we're having them, say, I see you, and then say, but I'm a fighter and I can get through anything. And I know this is happening for a reason, and I'm going to push through it, and I'm going to be strong. And at every moment, we can choose positive or negative. So if I
Hmm.
see the negative, I go, okay, I see you thought, but then I say, now I'm going to cancel you because I'm actually not going to end up down that other pathway. I love it. I have this card, a card that Katie gave me, and it says, "You are the dreamer of your dream." And we never stop being the dreamer of our dream. And that is something that's so, so big for me. It's in my closet. So I look at it every time I am changing into whatever I'm going to wear for the day. And I go, I'm the dreamer of my dream. And if I choose to have a little pity party for myself today,
Hmm.
then I'm just
Hmm.
going to make my day negative, and I'm going to go into work and everyone's going to like feel sorry for me. I'm going to bring their moods down. Nope, I don't choose to do that. I actually choose to uh, complain to my husband a little bit. So Josh, again, thank you for being there because he gets it all.
Gosh,
I'm
is
like,
great.
I tell him all the negative, and then I'm like, okay, it's over. Now, thank you for taking that. And then I just say, hey, I can choose to be positive right now. I can choose to share my story. That I am going to find answers. If anybody has any help that they could give me along the way. Please let me know what neurosurgeons you know. I mean, I kept fighting. And I said, I have worked too hard in this life to give up on
Hmm.
anything. And then I would come into the office and I would laser zap my negative energy, and people would say, "How are you doing?" Great. I mean, I wouldn't always say great. I would tell them, "Hey, it's been rough, but we're doing this." And let's talk about HTB San Diego. Let's talk about the design. I wanted everything possible around me to distract my mind from derailing down the track of negativity.
Yeah.
So for me, I recently realized actually, Audrey, that so I went on this trip to Virginia, my dad's 80th birthday, going back to our roots. I'm from Virginia. I lived there till I was 9, 2 to 9. And I said to my team, I'm not going to take any, I'm actually going to put that reply that I've never used in my entire life that says, I'm out of town on vacation and you can't reach me. I've never actually used that once in my life. Well, I used it last week, the week before. And I said, I'm not going to look at my emails. Did I follow those orders? I didn't. I looked at them, but I put them on like the back burner. I would just keep them in the unread, and I took one call. But I realized something huge about me. This is me, and this might not be everyone. The reason why people ask me, why are you always doing so much? Why are you always so busy? It keeps my mind happy.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
I slow down, it actually snowballs things like fears or doubts or
Hmm.
negativity. And when I'm constantly going, I get the confidence that I am powering through the next achievement, the next achievement, and the next achievement. And I love that. And I finally decided, hey, I might only need a day to recuperate and recover from a really heavy, intense work week. I don't need a week like other people do. I actually
Right.
do worse if I have a week off. I want to be doing stuff. So I don't know if you're that type of person, but I realize that about myself. And you probably will hardly ever see me have a auto reply on my emails again saying I'm out of the office. So, I mean,
No, I love it.
that's what I do. And I mean, just keeping that positive energy there, keeping your mind distracted. Um, it's really just choosing that positive over negative every second that you can. And
Hmm.
then having patience with yourself in the moments that
Yeah.
you know you're choosing fear or doubt, and knowing that it's human.
Yeah. It's so human. And yeah, I agree. Always give yourself grace.
Yes.
And I'm very much like you too. I need to be doing a lot, and you put me in a situation where, just like you said, it makes it worse, in my
Uh-huh.
opinion. And I love what you said. People are like, well, why are you doing so much? Why are you like working so much, and take some time? And I was getting the same thing. Like, people were like, you can't go back. Why are you going back to work so early? And I was like, in my case, obviously, I was recovering from a brain injury. So I was like, no, like, I need to be stimulating my mind.
Right.
It helped me heal faster. People thought I was crazy. So no, I'm in the same boat as you. And I love the, you are the dreamer of your dream. I
Yes.
love that.
We all
That might
are.
be the title of this episode, because that
Yes.
really like, got my heart,
You
like, was like, oh my God, I love that.
think
I'm
about
gonna
it.
remember.
We create and paint the picture of our lives. I mean,
Hmm.
we every moment, the people we choose to interact with that day, it takes our life down a different
Yeah.
pathway. I mean, doing this podcast with you. I mean, we're together connecting and building a relationship and a friendship that's deeper, just getting to know each other. And I being the dreamer of my dream means to me that I also choose to surround myself with people that are positive
Yes.
and are going somewhere and are doing something great with their life. And if I surround myself with negative people and people that are making really
Hmm.
poor choices, I know that I'm going to start to spiral down in their direction
Yes.
because they just pull you that way naturally. I mean, it's
Yep.
just, and they criticize you for wanting to do so much. So,
Yep.
I've decided I take full control of my life and I'm going to paint the best picture I can possibly imagine. And I love just, I've gotten back to walking. I don't think I'll run again after my spinal fusion, but walking on my treadmill, I open up my gym. I have a gym and it looks out onto all of these palm trees and other plants and flowers. And I just think about the future now. And now I can see it again. I can see where it's going. And it's okay to not know every part of that dream, but it's good to push your limits of the dream and dream bigger than you ever thought possible.
Yeah.
And at our new location in our bathroom, the phrase I chose because I like to also inspire my patients when they come and go and our team is
Yeah.
hashtag dream bigger.
Love
And
it.
I think we all need to remember that those two things. We're the dreamer of our dream, and we can dream bigger at any moment for ourselves. We're never done, you know?
I love that. And the thing you were saying about surrounding yourself, like, yeah, you can't surround yourself with negative people, but there's a saying out there, and it's like, show me your friends and I'll tell you your future or something like
Yes,
that.
yes,
And
yes,
it's so true. And
it is.
we all, especially us who are ambitious and things like that, I think some of us struggle with it too, is as you grow and evolve and improve, there are people that may fall out of your life along the way, and
Mhm.
that's okay.
Yes.
Staying in a situation where you are around, just like you said, negative people, it's going to bring negativity into your life and limit your potential, which is the last thing you should ever want, because we only live one life, and let's live it
Mhm.
as big as we possibly can. And to reiterate what you said, dream as big as you possibly can too.
Mhm.
So I love all of this. And so I want to ask you now your take on, I think all around, I, I guess I've just been, because of things I was interacting on Instagram, I'm like seeing all these different things. We all know how the algorithm works, but I've been seeing a lot of stuff around the concept of gratitude.
Mhm.
And I've always been a very grateful person for everything. I pray every day. I'm a very grateful human. And I feel like when you go through situations like what you went through, you come out of it having 10x the amount of gratitude for everything. And I feel like it really changes your perspective on literally every single thing in life. So
Mhm.
I want you to go into your take on that and anything around that concept.
Well, first of all, I am thankful for every single day that I walk without feeling a
Yeah.
shock to my foot.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for every single person that prayed for me and was there for me during the time and my deepest, darkest moments of not knowing if I would get better and be on the road to recovery. And what I can say is that I remember the specific moment where someone told me they were going out on a walk and spending the day at the park with the kids that afternoon. And I was at that moment I could only walk one block without my foot shocking me like 30 times a day. And I said, "Will you please go enjoy nature and
Yeah.
spend every moment with your kids it for me? Will you please go out there for me and breathe in the air and the flowers and everything that is so special about just taking a walk outside?" And the day before this happened, I'd actually been walking at the zoo the day before the July 15th foot drop happened and all this ensued. I'd been walking at the zoo with my son Benjamin, and I just love to walk outside. And now every day that I can walk, whether it's a mile before my foot starts getting irritated or a mile and a half, I am so thankful for a walk and to be able to
Hmm.
walk like around the office. It's so weird to say, but I had walking taken away from me. And to have walking taken away, it's like having speech taken away.
Yeah.
Or like it's just the craziest thing ever. So I am so grateful for every moment that I'm living right now, because I didn't know if I would be able to fly on an airplane. I didn't know if I would be able to walk on a stage. I'm definitely not wearing high heels anymore. I'm now like in flat designer tennies. I decided that's my new look. Even if I'm in dresses, who cares? Like, I'm in flats because I am thankful that I can walk on the
Yep.
stage. I am thankful I can be back at a conference and hug you guys and hang out and sit in a chair again. So it's a different sort of gratitude than I've ever experienced in my entire life, Audrey. It's it's this deep, crazy gratitude of almost losing your life. And I still, like, losing, I don't mean dying with what I had, I mean losing everything I
Yeah.
was and not being able to walk ever again or travel. And I'm an adventurer. I live for adventures and traveling and looking up at 30,000 feet at the clouds and imagining myself just like making an impact on the US or anywhere else. And suddenly that was stripped. And so now I'm just so thankful that I have everything that I have right now. If nothing else changed in my life and I was in this moment, I would be so thankful for what I
Yeah.
had been given and
Yeah.
the people that I'm surrounded by. So I don't know if you felt that same sort of thing, but I mean, it's like every second matters, every
It
hour
so does.
matters, and the people you hang out with matter even more.
Yeah.
Because why would I want to waste hours with that person when I could waste hours, not waste hours, but spend quality time with you? You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
crazy.
And go ahead.
No, I just said it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think of it that way. And until you go through something like this in life, you don't realize how precious our life is. And
Yeah.
I mean, you do think about like, what if one day I do think of those, what if one day I'm not able to walk? And I go, you know what? People get their legs blown off in battle as they're fighting for
Yeah.
this country and they push on. And I
Yeah.
always thought about that every time I started to have pity for myself. I said, if soldiers can push on, I can push on. I'm a soldier too, and I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Yeah.
back out there.
Yeah.
So,
I love
so thankful that I can walk, and so thankful for the people that surround me and the things that I have in my life.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And just hearing you, the way you articulate it, you're like still inspiring me too. So yeah, the walking thing, I'm right there with you. I remember when I got out of the ICU, I mean, in the ICU, I couldn't even walk. I was a fall risk. I had to be helped to go to the bathroom and everything. And it's crazy
So
when one day
helpless.
you can walk. I was at the gym the morning, I had my stroke. Like, it's like 1 second you're fine, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden everything changes. And the
Yeah.
walking thing, I love what you said, how appreciative you are just to go outside for a one
Hmm.
mile walk. I feel
Hmm.
the exact same way. I go for a walk almost daily every evening, and I just put in my AirPods, and it's like a gratitude walk. Like, you just are really, it affects your mood. So I've just been in the best mood because I look at life so differently now. And I'm just
Hmm.
so much more grateful than I was for anything ever before, just like you said. So the walking thing, absolutely. Like, how grateful should we be that we can walk? Like, there are people that can't
No.
walk. So live your life, not in negativity. Be so grateful for everything that God has blessed you with. Um, and also the walking on stage thing too, because obviously we're both speakers in this industry. And it's funny because you say you're only going to wear flats. And I remember at the aesthetic show, which was my first show back, I was like you, I did 2 lectures in flip flops, and it was very
Mhm.
comfortable, to be honest. I mean,
It feels
I just,
awkward, right? Because you're like, I wore some flip-flop type slip-ons for
yeah,
one of my talks. Actually, it was my first talk back at Am Spa. And
yeah.
I was like, this just doesn't feel right because heels give you this presence, right? So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm just gonna have to adapt to my new body. Is that, I mean, did you feel like that? Like, the presence of heels, it's interesting how it just
Yeah,
elevates as a female, it just elevates your height a little bit more, your calves flex, and it feels so good to walk around and just feel sexy, right?
yeah. Yes, no,
Flats
I'm right
don't
there
do
with
it for me the same way, Audrey. They don't.
I know it was very awkward. And then I felt like I was moving too much because it's too easy to walk around. So you're just I'm flip flopping around. And, but it was very nice to not be in, have a ton of foot pain, even though so foot
Yes.
pain, and I'm sure you did too. And
I think we're
but
starting a movement because a lot of the women that I've seen at conferences, they're like, "Oh, you're wearing those tennies? Those are so cute. I'm going to start
mhm,
doing that." The conference will let us do that. I was like,
yeah,
there's not a rule. There's not a
no,
rule. Let's start a movement and be in like
I
more comfortable
yeah.
shoes. Like let's not let's do what guys get to do, right?
Yes, amen, amen to that. And
Yes.
I need to get some more sneakers because I spoke at Face last week in London, and I was like, I don't want to be in flats for this event. Like I didn't know how it was over there, so like I put
Right.
myself through the stilettos, and I was
Oh,
in so much pain, and it
God.
was not even close to worth it. So back to the flip flop and or designer sneaker game. I'm with
Yes.
you. Let's start a movement. I think more women in this industry. I mean, a ton of us are speakers. Let's all start
Mhm.
wearing sneakers on stage,
Yes.
please, so
Let's
that we
get
can
comfy.
normalize it.
They can be fun, trendy things that match our
Yes.
personality. And I mean, I have some with lips on them. I have some with
Hmm.
hearts. Um, and I think it would be so nice to just feel comfortable in that. And
Yeah.
truly, we're probably more in our heads than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
Because as females, we go, okay, well, everyone criticized me for not wearing my heels, but and then I go, oh, but I just had back surgery, so of course people would know
Hmm.
that. And in reality, I don't think one single person even noticed,
Yeah.
except
That's
for
how I
me.
felt too. Yeah, because we're thinking about it because we're the ones doing it, and then when you bring it up to other people, like I didn't even know you're wearing flip flops. But
Yeah.
like I made it a thing because I felt so embarrassed about it at first. So like I gave an announcement like why I was in flip flops. But yeah, I'm with you. I think
I
and you
did the
always have
same thing.
yeah,
I
but
made
you
an
always have
announcement.
a
I
very
felt the pressure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So you're like, I don't want people to think I'm like a sloppy
Right.
human, and I just don't
Mhm.
care.
Mhm.
But something I also love about you, Amanda, for anyone who is seen Dr. Holden at any event, she always has the most colorful, bright, just happy outfits. And I remember you were giving a talk. This is actually probably the first time we met. It was at a conference in Miami. I don't even know. It was
AMWC. It was
AMWC
AMWC. It was
last
AMWC February of 2021, I
20.
think. Or no,
Oh, okay.
2020. No, it was
Two.
2022. Yeah, I think it was 2.
That makes sense. But I remember you were talking about like the specific designer you wear, and like when you speak, you want to feel as good as you possibly can. So you have a
Mhm.
specific, wardrobe that you put on and all of this. And I,
I
I
do.
remember, and this is before I knew you, and I was like, man, like this woman is so freaking cool. So I love your energy, and your energy is really contagious. And you're someone that I've always
Yeah.
just, I'm so grateful our paths crossed because you're someone I truly look up to day in and day out. You're very much an inspiration to me, as I'm sure you am, or as I'm sure you are to a thousand other women in this
Thank
industry. You're just
you.
an amazing soul and human, and I'm very grateful that we've been able to become friends. But I
As
know
am
I want
I.
to be
Audrey.
mindful.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's been
I'm so
really
great. It's wonderful when you meet people. I mean, we're from 2 different coasts. And
hmm
that's the great part about this industry is you meet people that are movers and shakers
yeah,
and they're like you. And you go, "Wow, we can learn from each other. We can watch each other. I love watching you talk." And I go, "Wow, she has the stage presence that I need. I need more of that because you are powerful on stage." And I walk into the exhibit hall and you're the first girl I see in pink. You're like pink Barbie, like standing there, like, hey, like I want to race over and take a photo with you because you're just welcoming in the same sort of way. So, I mean, you do it too, and there's a reason why we met. I'm sure we're
yeah.
supposed to do a lot together
No,
and
I
support each
I
other. Look at this.
yes,
Hmm.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I think obviously, it's not ideal that things happen to us, but I'm, seeing you go through a tough situation, it helped me a lot go through mine. So I'm not grateful that happened, but I mean,
I'm
things
so
happen
happy.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm so
so
happy it was able to impact you in that way. And I mean, I really do hope that if anyone's listening and you're going through something health-wise and you're just struggling, I mean, please feel free to reach out because
yeah,
we've been through a lot and there aren't a lot of people that can relate to it.
yeah,
And it's sometimes good just to have a quick conversation with somebody that's gotten to the other side. So,
yeah, I couldn't,
we're
I
here.
couldn't
We're
agree
here for
more.
you out there
Yeah.
if you're listening.
Yeah, we certainly are. We're on Instagram. You can send us a message. I'm right there with you, Amanda. I could not agree more. So I know we're crunched on time, and I do want to talk about some business updates. So from a not a somber topic, but a positive topic, because
Hmm. Yeah,
we're grateful
absolutely.
and everything
Yes.
happens for a reason,
Healing.
and everyone should
Hmm.
use that as a driver to get through tough situations. Everybody goes through tough situations. No one's life is perfect. Life is going to throw crap at you and
Hmm.
unexpected storms forever. So
Always.
mindset is key, and then gratitude also is something that will always ground us and keep
Hmm.
us happy regardless of what
Hmm.
we have. So definitely agree on that. So business update now. So obviously Amanda Holden is now a part of Alpha Aesthetics founding partner. CEOs John Wheeler, a very close friend of both of us.
Yes.
And in my opinion, it's just been it's been so amazing to see the growth of Alpha since I remember actually the first podcast episode I did with you last year was the episode where you announced your official partnership with John
Yes.
Wheeler and
I
Alpha.
know.
And it's crazy. I can't believe it's been that was over a year ago, which is
It was.
absolute
Yep. 13
yeah,
months.
which is crazy.
Almost
So
14. Yep.
obviously with so many, it's been so exciting just to see not just the platform overall grow, but HTV. So talk a little bit about what are some, you mentioned it a little bit at the beginning, but I wanted to make sure we kind of ended with a bang. Talk about some exciting things. You're opening up your new location. You're headed to a VIP event. Your hair and makeup looks freaking phenomenal right now.
Thank
So give us a
you.
little bit of update.
So I mean, it was quite a thing to see Alpha Aesthetics go from a concept to reality. And I think this year at the aesthetics show, having conversations with people that we had talked about, okay, where I'm joining Alpha, this is what we're creating. And then to have it now be come full circle and we're sponsoring the conferences. The lanyards say partner with Alpha. The studio booth that they built that podcasts directly from the
Yeah.
conferences there. We have an incredible executive team. We have a great operations team. Our like we've built out platforms and KPI systems for not only revenue but for marketing, and things are optimized to the fullest right now. And we welcomed on our ninth partner just recently. We our revenues as a combined partnership are so high, and we're looking for that first equity event in the next couple years. And that's exciting to think that everything John and I discussed is coming to life, and we're bringing on new partners that have this growth mindset and want to build and grow their own practices and their brands in their areas. So Alpha is growing like crazy. We're having our first, it's like, um, what is what do they call it when all the Comic Con is what, so
Oh
you know
yeah,
how
yeah.
everyone gets together for Comic Con, we're having an Alpha Con, but it's with all the partners in Dallas this October, and the partners are going to get together for a 2-day event. So we're having a partnership conference, and we're going to go over best practices. We're going to go over updates, where we see the future, where we see de novo growth best practices, and hopefully on the horizon very soon is the Alpha Academy, which is our internal teaching and training for our partners nationally. So I'm looking forward to this October event. B, I just launched the first de novo with Alpha. I've been working on it since last year, and I worked with a design team, an architect, a contractor, and we have a beautiful 2,000 square foot facility with a tropical oasis deck and this gorgeous awning in the heart of San Diego. An area called Savita in Mission Valley, palm trees outside. It looks like Rodeo Drive, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is glam to the max, and it is HTB to the core, but upgraded like
Yeah.
crazy. So you still have our same baby blue. You walk in, there's a custom green wall. It says "Wake Up Flawless." Our lips are on the front desk with our logo in the back, and then, as I said, hashtag Dream Bigger is in our bathroom, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, upgraded fixtures. And tonight we are having a VIP influencer event. So we've been working with a PR team. So this time we're doing it big time. This PR team that we've been working with, very experienced, very wonderful. They have found micro influencers and massive influencers to come tonight in two different groups. It starts at 5. There's an ice cream truck that's going to be outside, food truck, and then tables inside to toast with champagne. And they're going to get to walk through our facility, have a tour, record content, and then go into rooms and watch demonstrations being done of injections and facials. And then they'll get special gift bags. We have about 38 influencers in attendance, which is quite a lot for managing influencers. Really excited. I mean, most of them are brand new. I work with influencers already, so we have some of our regulars that are coming. I named one of the rooms after my most impressive influencer who's had the most growth and really dreamed the biggest for her life. Her name is Bliss. She's Coach Bliss on Instagram. So we have a room that's called the Bliss Room.
Aw.
And she has her own pictures in the room that represent San Diego on the beach, and she took them for us, and it's really special. So I can't wait to reveal the Bliss Room to her tonight. And then next month we're having a big grand opening party for all of San Diego with red ribbon cutting ceremonies, and we're going to divide people. We can only have 60 people per fire codes inside the building at once, but we can have tons of people on the patio. And Savita is a walkable, beautiful neighborhood with a big park next door. So we're going to kind of take over the sidewalk and divide people into groups and give them tours and have some fun scavenger hunts like inside our facility. And so that's just San Diego alone. And then beyond San Diego, I'm about to launch my first podcast with Alpha Aesthetics called Holding Time Back. And we recorded the audio for this yesterday. And then I went out driving at the beach in a convertible BMW that our creative director had rented yesterday with a hairstyle similar to this one. I was wearing my white coat, driving. He's like, punch it. And I'm driving fast so that they can get the hair flowing fast behind me. And the theme is time is precious. How do we hold time back in every moment of our lives? And I'm going to be talking to lots of different people from the industry, hopefully you included. I'm sure you're going to be on the podcast, right, Audrey? Will you be on the podcast? We'll talk about how you hold time back, but it's really going to be just a way to connect people to other people and hear about others' journeys in this incredible field of aesthetics, how people got to where they are, and how we help patients hold time back in the rooms and, really age differently than ever before. So I'm working on that. And then I'm finishing writing my first book called How to Hold Time Back. So it's all in the same theme of HTB, Holden Timeless Beauty, Hold Time Back. And it feels like I'm living in a true dream, honestly. We're about to enter the busy season in aesthetics, and I'm going to divide my time at these locations. Our team at HTB right now is just on fire. We have the best culture and so many great injectors. We have 13 injectors, and we're kind of doing this expand and contract. I always planted seeds in certain areas with some smaller spaces before we got to a bigger spot. So we're actually going to be a net of 4 after this, because we're closing down a smaller spot that was the second location I ever opened, because it's just 10 minutes from our Mission Valley location. And now all of those patients are going to have an uplifted, incredible experience with all of the devices and everything that we didn't have at our other location. So I'm really excited for everyone to visit HTB San Diego. So if you're in the San Diego area, look us up, come on by. Would love for you to see our space. And so that's what's going on. I'm going to be at Aesthetic Next. I'll be there in September. I am doing some other webinar classes, some talks with Repeat MD, and then traveling to a couple different cities with Galderma to do their Gain Business curriculum in different cities, just to help business owners that are either struggling or just want to build bigger, get to that next level. So many fun things in the works, and I'm loving it. My family goes along with me on a lot of these adventures. I'm going to 10X Ladies in August 15th and 16th. My mentor, Sharon Lecter, is being honored there with a Lifetime Achievement Award. So I
Wow.
cannot wait to celebrate her there, and just further network with incredible individuals from across the US and really around the world at that event. And then crazy thing, at the end of the year, 10X is having their first yacht event. They've rented out a
Oh,
Ritz-Carlton yacht and wrapped it with 10X. And we are having a 10X themed, only 150 people yacht experience in the Bahamas. And Rick Ross and Fat Joe are some of the performers that are going to be flown on to perform for us. And it's going to be like uplifting, inspiring group people from all over the world on this 10X yacht. It's like December 6th through 12th, I think, something like this.
wow.
So I mean, I had planned on doing these things, but I never knew if I actually could make it. And now I
Right.
know I get to do all the things. So yeah, those are my updates. And I
I
post it all on
love,
social media. So go to my Instagram, Dr. Amanda Holden. It's dr.amanda.holden. You'll see in my stories that I document my life almost every single day.
mhm,
And
yeah.
it's fun. I love just documenting life. And,
Mhm,
whomever needs that motivation or that little journey, I'll take you with me to the places I travel. And
mhm,
and a lot of people, and I'm sure you get this, a lot of people go, I had so much fun going to this place with you. Thank you for
mhm.
posting all of that. Or, I'm glad you took me to the Justin Timberlake concert with you.
Yeah. No, I
We
love
mixed
it.
in the concerts and all those
Yes,
other fun things in between.
it's so true. People that they vicariously live through you, and they appreciate that. And people are sometimes weird about their like, what I worrying about what people think of me. Who cares what people think of you? The
I don't
people
care
that
anymore. Yep.
yeah, exactly. Like the people that love you and are supportive of you and things like that, they're gonna watch your stuff and they're gonna enjoy it.
Yes.
So just live your life. Who cares what other people think?
Yes.
One life to live, and I can't believe we're already at the top of the hour now, but
I know.
first of all, just this has been a really wonderful conversation. I'm so happy we were able to do this because I really wanted you to be my first episode back on the True to Form podcast. And just I want to give all the credit in the world to you and your continued success and just how resilient you are. It's definitely an inspiration to me, and I know it's an inspiration for others. So just congrats on truly from the bottom of my heart on your growth, the success with Alpha, your book, your podcast. I'm excited for your book and your pod. I can't wait to read your book.
Yes.
I
Yay.
will be I will be reading that very quickly. I'm sure I'll get through it in like a day. So
I
congrats
will
on
give
all
you
of
early
that.
releases so you can give me
I would love
some
that.
advice before it's, yeah, I'd love for you to
I would
read it.
love that. And so to end on a note, I want to end on you are, just as a reminder to everyone, you are the dreamer of your dream. And I want to end on that. That's going to be the title of this podcast. Thank you, Amanda, for everything, your support, just your continual inspiration and impact on the industry and myself. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy, busy day to come on the podcast.
You're welcome, and thank you so much. And please know you're in our prayers every single day to get back to full health and live your dream to the fullest. And I love you so much.